let's check out one or two more games of Naka, the ICC King Nakamura. Okay, this is another Trompovsky real triumph against Mamedyarov, who's 2-7-6-3, 20 FIDE points higher, more than 20 FIDE points higher than Naka. So d4, and after knight f6, we have the Trompovsky. Now, actually, for opening name trivia, by the way, without d5, this is Trompowsky. If you played bishop g5 here, it's actually the Levitsky attack after Levitsky, who won recognition because he lost to Marshall with the famous queen g3 move that Marshall played. That's Levitsky, but he's also known for this Levitsky attack, which also some people are arguing could be called the Hodgson attack, because Julian Hodgson, who was British champion several times, used it with great success. Opening trivia names complete. So Trompovsky, so with bishop g5 and knight f6, but now we have a transposition, so this could of course come from Levitsky. Now e3, Mamedyarov seems a bit dazed, I don't know, startled by this opening choice from white. He plays knight e4, fine, of the bishop f4, c5, and I guess this is a heavy theoretical position now. But we see something very interesting very early on in this game. Bishop d3, and after knight c6, we see a very simple forcing move, which seems to have great impact in this Blitz game. And white just plays bishop takes e4. So the interesting thing here is, with that knight c6, I don't know if that was an accuracy already, but d5, it reminds me of the Albin counter gambit positions, you know, where you strike in the centre and try and dislocate, you know, black's position with this central pawn here. It's gaining a tempo as well, but will it be weakened later, you know, with e6? Will it be underminable? That's the key question. So knight b4, so immediately it's protected, fine. Now here e6 is undesirable, I would guess, you know, maybe even like d6, trapping like the bishop from developing, and then e4 is also vulnerable. So black plays with caution, he protects actually e4, but this gives Naka a chance to play a3, and I think he's already won the opening battle. It looks a bit like, you know, an Albin counter gambit in reverse, with white having a lead in development, black's development already inhibited. You know, how is he going to develop this bishop if he doesn't want to play e6 to allow d6? So knight ge2, and the knight's got a natural square to hit this bishop, which is just struggling to just protect that pawn. So we have now g6, which is putting another pawn on the same square of the bishop. The bishop's actually running out of moves, it can't go this way, so make a mental note of that. Bishop e5, provoking another weakness from black, making, you know, maybe, you know, e6 is going to be more unpleasant on this diagonal later, with this extra weakness now encouraged. f6. So the bishop now retreats, doing its job there with bishop g3. Okay, now black wants to swap pressure on this d pawn frontally with a rook, maybe instead of the queen. So queen b6, hitting b2, maybe playing rook d8 and then e6. Now Naka just gets on with casting. He doesn't care about queen b2. There's rook b1 and rook b7, with a lot of compensation, probably winning position. Rook d8, and now we see a sneaky little move which is dual purpose. Okay, now London system players would probably be playing this move most of the time just to tuck their bishop away cosily on h2, but there's another tactical purpose as well. The move has more venom. After e6, Naka just plays the sneaky little move bishop h2. Okay, now is he also just preparing knight g3 or something? Is that the question? So anyway, his 27-6-3 opponent, I know it's a Blitz game, but it's still kind of funny. His opponent plays bishop g7, and if I give you 10 seconds, can you spot the move here, which kind of wins material? Okay, it's g4, just winning the bishop. Where's the bishop going? Oh, terrible, isn't it? Bishop takes g4, so black sacks the bishop. Unfortunately, we couldn't see on the video footage, which I'll try and remember to put a link in the description, that we don't really get to see the facial expressions of Mamedyarov. You know, was he horrified after losing that piece? So e takes, knight takes d5, and the worst thing about this position now, because there's a pawn on c5, it's difficult actually even to undermine this knight on d5. It can be fully supported. And queen e6 is supported with tempo now. Knight ef4 hitting the queen and protecting it. So queen f7, c4, fully cementing that knight on d5. So it's not enough just to be a piece up. You know, white's pieces are excellent. You know, central control and everything. So f5. Okay, necking out starts working on black's pawn structure in the f file with that queen on f7, underminable target with a bonus, that e4 pawn. Castles, he takes on f5, black takes, now he takes on e4. So this is highly unpleasant, being a piece down as it is. Black now plays bishop takes b2. I mean, as well as rook b1, which is the game continuation, I'm wondering also, you know, white's winning anyway. Rook a2 to g2 looks pretty tasty as well. But rook b1 as well, you know, just putting pressure on b7. Why not? So now black plays bishop e5. And another amusing tactical thing about this game, well, from white's perspective, is that after e takes, black can't even play queen takes f5 because there'll be knight e7 check. It's terrible. It's just a tactical disaster. And it gets even worse now. Black plays king h8. So he's got this unprotected piece on e5. Can you spot the next tactic from white if I give you 10 seconds? Okay. Knight g6 check. just uncovering the bishop attack on that bishop. So this is total disaster. Black just resigned here, but you can imagine that if hg check, king g8, look at the dark squares and everything. You know, just knight f6 for example is probably crushing, or queen g4. You know, there's a number of moves which are all probably just like crushing here. You know, maybe just f6 and then knight e7 check, or f6 and rook b2 and knight e7. It's just all over basically. So let's have a look at that again. Trompovsky serves Nako exceptionally well with the white pieces. It's an opening which doesn't involve white playing too many pawn moves. So it still is a nice surprise weapon, getting people in a bit of unfamiliar territory. This nice early bishop takes e4, nice surprise, sort of reverse Albin counter gambit, with white having a big lead in development, slicing through the position, dislocating both sides of black's position, inhibiting development of the dark squared bishop here. And now this little cunning little idea, provoke weaknesses first. Doesn't matter about b2, there's always rook b1, or even worse probably. So now after e6, bishop h2, just threatening to trap the bishop, which is a tactic totally missed by black. So he plays bishop g7. And after g4 he's going down a whole bishop, just losing a whole bishop. And even worse, he can't even do anything about d5. The d5 knight's cemented. He gets even further undermined. And this last tactical sequence is just total disaster. So e takes f5, and then knight g6 check. Okay, please leave any comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.